Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Conversations with TEF. My name is Tobina Itumnu and I work with the Iheme Foundation. Like our founder always says, success is an outcome of a series of short-term successes and failures. With me here is one of our high-flying entrepreneurs, Mr. Iheme, who is the CEO of Gasavant Africa. Welcome to the Iheme Foundation.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice to have you here again. So would you please introduce yourself and your business?
Thank you. My name is Iheme. I'm the MD of Gasavant Africa. We are a midstream gas infrastructure development organization addressing gaps in the domestic gas market.
So could you give us more details about the operations of your business?
Okay, thank you. So Gasavant Africa, we operate across three verticals.
Yeah.
First vertical is LPG inland storage construction. Okay. Storage skids between 20 tons and 500 tons. We have projects in the south, southeast, north central, and of course in the southwest. The second vertical is LPG and propane product supply. There is an increase in demand for LPG for power generation in addition to cooking. And the demand for LPG has grown 25% every year since 2008. And the third vertical that Gasavant plays in is in the distribution and supply of original equipment for gas distribution. So LNG trucks, LPG trucks, propane trucks, CNG trucks, LNG, or rather natural gas generators, LPG generators, propane generators. Those are the equipment classes we focus on as a business.
Wow, that's very nice. Seems like there's a lot that you're doing at Gasavant. So as someone who received the seed capital in 2016, can you give us a bit more information about how it transformed your business?
Yes, so very good question. So for the seed capital, it was very transformative because it gave me the funding to register my business, to develop my website, to acquire licenses as well, and pay for my initial logistics costs moving around trying to promote my business or market the business. So the seed capital was very instrumental. I thankfully was at a lower exchange rate than what it is today. So it was very instrumental, and it got us the necessary start we needed, and we didn't have to seed any equity. And then with the seed capital combined with the income from my source of employment, we were able to bootstrap our company to grow to what it is today.
So like you mentioned, one of the things that drives your passion for running your business is, making an impact in the environment, actually going out there to change mindset of Nigerians. So could you give me an example of this impact that you've done in your environment?
Okay, that's a very good question. There are several layers of the impact our business and switching to gas can have on the environment. First of all, there are a lot fewer greenhouse gases and dangerous gases, sulfur-based, that don't come out of gas that you would have if you were burning charcoal, using kerosene, or using firewood, as it were. So we are reducing emissions. Let's start from there. Second of all, the presence of gas is always followed by an increase in industrial activity. So the more gas we utilize, the more we will be able to power our factories and increase our export value as a country. These are fundamentals. If you look at every strong economy in the world, they are more of net exporters. So we have a lot of raw materials in Nigeria. We have a lot of agro products. We even have lithium in Nigeria. There's a lot of industrial activity that should be going on in Nigeria, but hitherto was not feasible because of either security issues or lack of access to a viable fuel like gas. Unfortunately, renewable energy cannot power a metal smelting plant. You can't melt metal with solar panels. There's an amount of heavy lifting in the industrial space that gas needs to do. And like I said, hitherto Nigeria, we've been exporting our raw materials to the outside world and buying finished products back. That is putting a lot of pressure on the FX markets. If we go more into industrial parks, industrial processing zones, free trade zones. We'll see more domestic production, and we can even supply the rest of Africa and possibly strengthen the Naira. But I don't want to go too deep into economics there. If we're speaking about economics, if we build a gas plant here right now, we are going to create jobs for transporters, for welders, for people who are experienced with concrete work, quantity surveyors, people who do the environmental impact assessment. We even have programs to engage the local communities because some of our projects are going to be in semi-remote areas. So there's a lot of social impact that also comes to bring positive value to the environment whenever we do our gas projects. And if we talk about the amount of gas flaring that's been going on all over the world, what we do in LPG is important because the people in the midstream doing gas processing plants and producing LPG, producing propane, producing condensate, compressing gas to CNG, liquefying gas to LNG, they need an end user market. We engage directly with that end user market, and I am acutely aware of that, the gap in the linkage between midstream and downstream in gas, because I've worked in the upstream and I've also worked in the midstream. So I think, yes,
that's very insightful. Thank you very much. So what would you say is your single greatest achievement as a TEF entrepreneur?
Cool. That's a very good question. A lot of great things have come out of being a TEF alum and a TEF entrepreneur. But if I were to sum it down to one thing, the single best thing that's happened is the ability to learn how to write a business plan and develop a financial model in order to use it as a decision-making tool to go into a business or not go into a business. And if you go into a business, what reasonable expectations one can have to make a decision. That has aided me in selecting projects that we do. That has aided me in even discovering the business I'm doing today and getting into the niche that I'm in, which is, which I've described earlier. So I definitely owe TEF a lot of thanks for that.
So as an entrepreneur in your expertise, how would you define success?
That's an interesting question. I believe every individual should have their definition of success, right? Because you can't measure yourself by another person's yardstick. It's good to look at good examples, but you have to define it for what you want for yourself. So what I define as success is doing what you love, that you happen to be good at, and is giving you enough benefits to take care of yourself and your family and positively impact your community. Those are the three things I look for to define success.
Wow, so it's been great having you here, and I've been able to learn a lot about your businesses, and just want to say thank you for gracing us with your presence here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be back here, and I hope we, have more engagements with yourselves and our other alums from TEF.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there we have it, guys. We've come to the end of another episode of Conversations with TEF. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on our next episode. Thank you.